Well, that was fun. I can't believe it's not even, like, it's just noon. Home security, Gabrielle said this. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go talk to my son! Let's see what that rotten little boy says. There he is. My son. Why does she go that way? I hate that way. Can't she just go straight? God. Hello? Talk to?
Hey, Mom. What's up?
Oh, nothing much. I wanted to talk to you for a bit. Do you remember what happened the night Mr. Fox was killed? This is important, Nick Carter. On the night that Daniel Fox died, did you hear anything strange? Have you seen anyone snooping around our house recently?
That's a really strange question.
It may be, but I'm trying to figure out what happened the night Daniel died, and I think you might have some answers. I'm sorry, Nick Carter, but it's incredibly important. Mrs. Solis says she saw 2 people snooping around her house that night of the murder. I don't care if it's strange, I want to know what you saw. People's lives are at stake, Nick Carter.
Don't you remember? I was grounded. I didn't go anywhere that night.
Exactly.
You know what's funny? If you and Dad would just let me stay out later, I'd probably be able to help you out right now.
What are you talking about? If you didn't go anywhere all night, then you probably noticed people outside the house rather than, you know, you going out of the house and seeing nothing. Okay, but did you actually hear anything that night? The police said that Daniel put up quite a fight. Really? You didn't go anywhere? For once you actually listened to us? Well, is there anything that you can help me with then?
I told you I was in all night. I was playing Utter Warfare online with this guy I know from the web forums. Double Trouble.
Wait a minute. Double Trouble is Frank.
I figured since nobody was home, I'd crank the volume up pretty loud. So there's no way I would have heard anything. Are you done with the interrogation now, Mom?
Wait, Double Trouble is Frank. You're being awfully defensive here. Are you sure you're telling me the whole truth? There's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I just hope it's the truth. Oh, that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Perhaps because you've lied to me before and because you're a teenager and that's what teenagers do. That's a really bad thing to assume. Holy shit, there's Slim Fast in the background. She drinks Slim Fast?
Jeez, you know what? You're worse than Danielle's mom.
Dude.
The both of you make a habit of nagging and bugging people. Why can't you just leave me alone?
Dude.
Why are you so hung up on this? I mean, I know he wasn't your boyfriend or anything. He didn't even play for that team, did he?
Holy shit.
Other than you and his brother. Who's really gonna miss him anyway?
Wow. How can you say something like that? He was so nice to everyone. Look, you know this means something to me. Why are you being this way? My own son doesn't even want to help me. Someone was murdered on our street, Nick Carter. We should all care. Besides, Daniel was my friend. I should have known you to act this way. No one seems to give a damn. I thought it was just the police, but maybe it's this damn town.
Look, Mom, I'm sorry your friend is dead, but I don't know anything. I promise. So drop it already.
Fine. I've had enough abuse anyway. I thought I'd get a sympathetic ear, but obviously it's impossible in this house. I mean, you don't need to go that far. What is this? Double Trouble. There's no way that he could have been playing with Double Trouble. Double Trouble is Frank. Isn't it? I feel like it's Frank. Was it Utter Warfare or just Utter War? How is this new? This isn't new. This isn't new at all. What the fuck? I don't understand how the fuck... I'm really confused. I guess I have to press him for more details because I don't understand.
Hey, Mom. What's up?
Listen, Nick Carter, I have a few more questions for you.
Mom, what is it with you? Don't you have something else to do?
And just what would you have me do? You watch your mouth. Yeah, I am. Are you absolutely sure you didn't hear or see anything that night?
I don't know anything else. Jeez, why don't you just go off and conspire with Mrs. Vandekamp about how to ruin the rest of my senior year?
Okay, I'm sorry, but we're not even that bad. We saved his relationship with Allison. Like, how dare he? He didn't have to fucking fuck Tabitha.
Because I don't have anything else to say to you.
I don't know where you get that attitude from, but it certainly wasn't from me. I'll deal with you later. You're just like your father, you know that? Fine, forget about the whole thing. Okay, it's asking me to go to the Vandekamp's house. So, let's find out, I guess, about this people? I don't know. Like, who else plays Utter War? Other than Frank, who apparently was playing too. Let's find out what's going on with the kids.
Hello. What a pleasant surprise.
Hello, Bree. I was hoping you could help me out with something. I just stopped by for a chat, to chat a bit, Bree. It's nice to see you as well.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm trying to piece together what happened the night of his murder, and I think you might be able to provide some pieces of the puzzle. I need to find out who killed Daniel Fox. The police are at no help, so I thought I'd come to you. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know if you heard, but I've been hunting for clues to find Daniel's killer.
I assume you're not being literal.
Of course not.
I'm afraid you're wasting your time. I don't know anything about Daniel's murder.
Come on, Bree. Think you have to remember something. Oh, nothing at all?
There's only one thing that comes to mind when I think of that night, but it certainly isn't going to bring Daniel's killers to justice, so it's probably better not to speak of it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Sorry, not a clue. What? I have absolutely no idea what happened to Edda's garden. Ha! I probably do, but I just forgot.
That was the night your son attempted to court my daughter.
What? He told me he was in his room playing games that night. Oh, right, that. I guess it slipped my mind. When did this happen?
That night, he and Danielle were coming back from their date. I caught Danielle trying to sneak back into the house. She knew better than to stay out that late. I assume your son was the bad influence.
Really?
I saw them coming out of your house looking guilty as sin. And then your son had the nerve to try to sneak in with Danielle.
Your daughter's a whore, you bitch!
Mom, haven't you done enough? Now you're talking to the neighbors about this? Haven't you embarrassed me enough already?
I'm not trying to embarrass anyone, dear. You do more than enough of that for the both of us.
Exactly, so why are you blaming my son?
Needless to say, they were surprised when I greeted them on the porch. I sent your son home immediately. Then Danielle and I had an interesting talk that evening.
The two of them were out that night, together. So they were together in my house, you actually saw them? If they were hanging out on Wisteria Lane that night, they must have seen something.
Do you know what this means?
Yeah, it means we were out that night.
Uh-huh. Thank God nothing happened to them. Yeah, it means we're lucky our children are safe. What do you think it means?
I used to think my Danielle was incapable of hurting a fly, but she is susceptible to dangerous boys.
Don't start jumping to conclusions, Bree. Our children had nothing to do with Daniel's death. Oh, calm down, Bree. Bree, I know you've been through some bad times, but these are our kids you're talking about. Really? This is the stupidest thing I've ever witnessed. I know as a parent, you're like, you worry about your kids and worry about their safety, but really, this is taking it a little bit too far. None of them are evil. Not my son, not Danielle. I mean, Danielle's a skank.
Do you seriously think I'm capable of that? The police said Mr. Fox was killed at 11 that night. And if you remember, you sent him home way before that. You went off on your whole high and mighty, and of all things, on a school night tirade and sent me to bed. Besides, I refuse to defend myself. You're insane for even thinking this. If only Dad were still alive.
Danielle, you will always be my daughter. But after what this family has been through, and especially after what you've put me through, it will take more than a few words for me to trust you again. Considering you never even told me what you two were up to that night.
They were having sex, you dumbass.
Ugh. Well, if Danielle doesn't have anything to tell us, there's just one person left. Your son. Maybe you'll have more luck getting the truth out of him.
Can't understand why he'd lie about something like that. Now I know he was lying that night. I'm gonna demand answers. Yes, and may God have mercy on his soul. Alright, time to go back home. Jesus. Can't believe this shit. Come here. Little fucking shit. Full of everything shit.
Hey, Mom. What's up?
There isn't too much going on with me. However, you, on the other hand, have a lot of explaining to do.
About what?
I know for a fact you were out that night. Don't you play dumb with me, Nick Carter, princess. Just a few moments ago, you said you were in the house all night, but I know you weren't.
What? Why don't you ever trust me? You're just coming from out of nowhere with all this. And I know you're making this up. You can't prove anything.
You're right, Nick Carter. I can't prove you were out that night. Usually I do trust you, but right now I don't think I should. I just talked with Bree and Danielle, and they both said they saw you out that night. That Danielle, she's a really fun girl to be with, isn't she, Nick Carter? The kind you can take on walks around the neighborhood?
That girl just can't keep her mouth shut.
Care to tell me what really happened? Yeah, but isn't that why you were interested in her? Oh! Oh! Maybe not, but for now, let's see if you can't get your story straight. Oh.
What? No. She's fun.
Right, so now that we've gotten the lies out of the way, let's hear about the truth.
Okay. Danielle and I went out that night. But nothing really major happened. So, I didn't feel the need to bring it up.
I'll say something happened. One of your neighbors was murdered. Did you forget about that, too? Let's be honest here. You forgot to bring it up because you were out past your curfew and you didn't want to get in trouble. Last chance. Is anything else coming back to you now? Well, I'm bringing it up now. What else happened?
After Mrs. Vandekamp finished her angry diatribe, I left and came home. And that's the truth.
That can't be everything. You must have seen something else. As I understand it, the truth is that she yelled at the both of you and sent you home. Did you see anything else suspicious?
Nope. I did see someone standing outside the Scavo house talking to some car.
Oh god, well who was it, and more importantly, what were they doing? Okay, that's not the smoking gun, but it's something to work with. Was it Lynette?
I don't know. I guess it could have been Mrs. Scavo.
Lynette Scavo flirting with a stranger in a car just doesn't make sense, so I'm headed over to the Scavos right now to investigate. You better be telling me the truth, Nick Carter. Great, now I'll have to find out for myself. I'm going now, but you should know that this isn't over. I'm still upset with you. You could have saved us both a lot of trouble if you would have just told me you saw Lynette flirting with some strange car in the first place. Goodbye. Oh, I don't even need to teleport. Is this a flashback? What is this? Damn it, I do need to teleport. Jesus, so much to do. So little time. Again, why is she going all the way around? There's a clear cut path right here that she could have walked. Whatever, I'm over it. Teleport! Knock. Alright, Lynette, let's hear your side of the story.
Voracious piranha, and they hunger for fresh bear meat. The little fish devil.
Hey, you! We haven't talked in a while. What's new?
Well, I know it sounds odd, but Daniel's death really affected me, and after talking to the police and realizing that this is a low priority for them, I've taken it upon myself to figure out who's behind his murder. Hi, Lynette. Nothing too exciting in my neck of the woods. How are you doing? Hey, Lynette. I wanted to come by and talk to you about the night Daniel was killed.
That said, he was my neighbor, and I was hoping he'd be my friend. It's an awful tragedy.
It is a tragedy, and I just can't stand around and do nothing about it. I started a little investigation of my own. I couldn't agree with you more. That's why I'm hoping you can help. I'm trying to help the police with their investigation. I agree. In fact, I was hoping that if I found a little bit about just what happened to him, that I'd be able to put my mind to rest. I've made a lot of progress, but I still need a few more answers. But I've just been finding out more and more as I delve deeper into the whole ordeal. However, it seems like every time I think I have something figured out, I find something else that tells me even more.
I think we're a bit old for the whole detective thing, but go ahead. What do you need? I'm not sure I can help you with anything, but let's give it a try.
Who knows? Maybe we both can help. What's the
Oh
problem?
no, it's Tom. Someone told me they saw you flirting with someone in a suspicious car the night Daniel was murdered. Okay, well, this is a little embarrassing. You see, someone saw you, Lynette, talking with a stranger sitting in a car parked outside your house the night Daniel was killed. People have sort of placed you outside the night Daniel was murdered.
Listen, I don't know what your eyewitness was smoking, but Lynette barely has enough energy to lift herself into bed at night, let alone chat with some stranger.
Aw, he's so sweet.
Yeah, this is a little bizarre anyway. I was asleep by 9 o'clock that night. Who thinks they saw me? It's crazy.
You're changing the subject, Lynette. It's my son. He said you were flirting with the guy. I'm not at liberty to say. What, is this your game spreading rumors about my wife? Why won't he say it?
You know, I've heard some things about your son. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he sounds like nothing but trouble.
I didn't say anything about my son.
Whoa, everyone calm down. I was in bed by 9 that night, so it obviously wasn't me your son saw. Where was this car?
I didn't even say it was my son. I marked something else. I'd like to believe that, but can you prove it? It was parked on a street a few feet from your house. You probably just assumed it was you. Honestly, I'm not asking for excuses. I need to know what happened.
Yeah, hope he's not spreading these little assumptions any further than you. You know, to be fair, I do remember something strange from that night.
Not me. I was sound asleep.
Yeah, my little watchdog here. Wouldn't wake up if a tornado ripped the roof off the house.
I sleep soundly. Is that a crime?
Anyway, Tom was fast asleep. Some noise had woken me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah, she's like that. Her mind's always racing. Needs a horse tranquilizer to get her back to bed.
Oh my god, get to the fucking point.
But maybe we should get back to helping out with this case.
Thank you.
So, what do you remember that night?
I was looking for something to read to help me fall asleep, and I thought I left it on the windowsill. When I looked, there wasn't any magazine, but I saw Gabby on the sidewalk.
She was on her run. I guess that's possible. What was she doing out that late? That's interesting, but why would she have been out?
She was running around the neighborhood.
I told you.
Are you telling me that Gabby was running errands at midnight and decided to stop and have a conversation with a stranger?
No, Tom, she was literally running in her very tight pink jogging outfit. You know, the one you're always staring at.
Of course. That makes sense now. Gabby was flirting with some guy. It's actually pretty funny that anyone would think you were flirting with someone.
Whoa, hold up there. Lynette's pretty hot.
Tom, what are you implying?
You just don't flirt. Well, often. You don't flirt often.
Now that I'm a mother, am I supposed to be asexual now? Is it out of the realm of possibility that I might flirt with a man, and that a man might find me to be attractive? Okay, I don't mean to be rude, but Tom and I have a few things to discuss.
Yeah, Gabby did tell me she was out that night, although she neglected to tell me that she talked to Daniel's killers during her jog. Okay, then I'll check in with Gabby. Come to think of it, Gabby did mention that she was out jogging that night. It just doesn't make sense why she talked to some thug, though. I think I'll head back to the Salises. Talk to you guys later. Okay, then I'll leave you two to your conversation. Thanks for your help. Sounds to me like I need to clarify some things with Gabby. Thanks for the info. Oh, God.